Hey there, nomads. Welcome to the Gone Nomad Van Life RV Life podcast. Here's your host, living the step van life himself, and your fellow nomad, Rav Holly.
Trying again, Matilda. Yes, I am trying again. Just giving a few minutes if we can get some people in the room over here. Round two, JB. Round two, buddy. What's up, Ambo Life? All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in. For you guys that don't know, I just did 2 hours on Facebook, but I felt so bad because I left so many of you hanging over here in the room earlier that I decided to set it all up again and get ready to go for another round here on YouTube tonight. Probably won't have too many people in here. I think pretty much everybody ventured on over to Facebook, but I needed to get this stream ironed out and get it working to make sure that it would work next time on YouTube when I decided to stream on YouTube. I still have absolutely no idea like what the problem was. I ended up going over to my stream that I had set up earlier and trying it again after I got through here, and it literally would not start again. So I ended up just deleting that stream. I deleted it completely off of my YouTube channel, set up this new stream here and click live, and it just started right up. And I'm actually doing exactly what I'd planned to do for my 6 p.m. show today, which is stream live here on YouTube. And I'm actually recording this at the same time on Podbean for just the audio for the guys that don't have time to sit here and watch the stream, and maybe they want to they may want to listen to the stream while they're rolling on down the road. For you nomads out there that you like to catch the show, but you can't sit there, you're not able to sit there and listen to it. I think we're all pretty much even us mobile, I think we're all pretty much though at a pretty static right now though with the quarantine. Are we not? I don't think anybody's moving around too much. But anyway, guys, looks like we have 5 people in the room. I appreciate you guys showing up. It's a late night podcast, but it's the new American Nomad Better Late Than Never edition. I appreciate it. I had this illusions of grandeur that I spent all night last night rebranding everything. I did my podcast page on Podbean. I did my Twitch page, which is already done. That was the first page I done. I did my YouTube page. I did everything. I put all the new banners up on all of my blog, everything. It's all new. It's all rebranded to my new American Nomad podcast. So I was so excited to do the unveiling today and really start the first American Nomad podcast, official Nomad podcast. I'm not calling it a live stream anymore. It's just a podcast now. I've been wanting to do a real podcast for 10 years, and I feel like I'm actually finally at that point to actually call it a podcast. So that's what we're doing today. So anyway, anybody got any questions? Thanks for the thumbs up, guys. I already got 2 thumbs up over there. Appreciate that. Matilda, how are you doing tonight, Matilda? I saw you in the room earlier, so I felt so bad. You and JBK, I saw you guys like holding out, and I know you're not on my Facebook, so I didn't figure you'd get ventured over there. So I thought I'd come back and get the stream worked out over here and get it running so I knew what the heck was going on. Let's see here. I'm going to have to mute this. I just want to go in and check the stream and see what it looks like on Facebook. Make sure the quality's okay. I have no idea what happened. The only thing that I can think of that happened is I kind of caught this just now when I was trying to start this live stream. So I've been installing software, and I've been doing so much stuff to try to get this to get some other things going to make this podcast more interesting. So literally the only thing that I can think of is I'm installing some software that's called, I've already installed it. I use it on Twitch when I game stream over there. But I have this software called Streamlabs OBS, and I've installed a new plugin into Streamlabs OBS to where I can have someone call in through Skype, and I'll be able to talk to somebody live on the air while I'm doing the show. And you'll basically have a half and half screen. So half the screen will be me, and then half the screen will be them. So I installed that, but I noticed every time that I try to start my stream, it auto pushes it goes to the default to the audio for that NDI plugin. So instead of having my mixer and my mic, and even when I change it, I'll go to go again, and it'll change it back to the NDI. So if that's the case, then there's no way the stream would start because it's actually not having my mixer on there. And luckily, just now I caught it. I saw it doing that because I go in and I change it because it shows as the NDI, and I go in and I change it to my audio here. And then I went to go live, and I noticed it didn't change. It was the NDI again. I'm like, what the heck? So I go in and change it again. And then the second time it actually took. And then I started the stream. So I'm wondering if that's what happened to me originally. I know it was something like that. Something simple that I just didn't know. We got Amy Preston. Hello again, Amy. You back over here again. I figured you guys had enough of me, everybody that watches us on Facebook. JBK says our refreshing page cleared up the stall. Okay, good. Matilda, it did for just a second for me. Rav, did you feel the earthquake earlier? No, I didn't feel it. I'm right here by the train tracks, so even if my office shakes, I always just think it's the train. Especially if I have my headphones on, I think it's just probably a train going by. Because my office has an earthquake like 15, 20 times a day every time a freight train goes by. Joshua Rialto, and now back to our program. I have no fear. Joshua's here. Hey, what's up, buddy? What's going on, Joshua? Good to see you, man. Let me go ahead and let me get some stuff going on here so I can stop looking away and I can look right here and look at the camera for you guys. 4 thumbs up. Oh, there we go. That's what we wanted, was a commercial. Let me get to this commercial, guys. I'm just trying to start the feed here. Apologize. There we go. Okay, so now I can see the chat right here. Matilda says, think it was a 4.5. Really? In California? My buddy I heard out in Riverside said that he felt it out there. He asked me if I felt it. I didn't feel it. I usually feel them, but I had so much going on today that, I probably just didn't even realize what was going on. Yeah, 4.5, that's a pretty good shake. Yeah, I didn't feel it though. Yeah, 4.5. That is not someone on Facebook stream said 4.5. Huh. Yeah. It's a pretty good little quake. It's a pretty good little shaker. So I need some advice. So this is, and I'm always talking and somewhat not really giving you guys advice, but just talking about stuff that I have interest in. But I have a problem, and I want you guys to tell me how to solve this problem so I don't end up in prison. So outside my office right here is the railroad tracks. There's railroad tracks right here. So these are all commercial warehouse buildings all the way down the railroad tracks, right? And then there's a big rail fence that runs right behind our building that's like this far from the building. But all the way down here, not even, I could throw a football, probably 20 yards away, 30 yards away. There's about 4 or 5 homeless encampments, homeless people. And this first homeless guy in his tent right here with his bicycle, he sings. He's like a drunk Mexican guy, and he literally sings at the top of his lungs, just randomly all day long, like literally all day long. I'll be on a phone call, and he'll be singing so loud, I'll just end the phone call. Every time I try to do my show, he starts singing. Like, I literally want to throw rocks at the guy, and I'm trying not to. Like, if I had some rock salt, I'd put it in my shotgun and shoot his ass. I'd walk up and shoot his ass with my freaking shotgun with rock salt in it. If you guys don't know what rock salt is, it's like a Epsom salt. It's a rock salt. It's not fatal, but we used to use it on cattle or livestock and stuff like that to get them. Like, if a bull was charging you, you could shoot them with rock salt so they would scare and run away. Now, it stings. Don't get me wrong. I mean, my brother, we've shot each other with it, and sometimes it'll break the skin, but it won't kill you. But I have no idea what to do with this guy. I mean, I'll open my window up here, right here, because my window will open, and I'll scream out at him to shut up, but he'll shut up for 10, 15, maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and then he'll start singing again. I'm literally at my wit's end. I don't know what to do. And the crazy thing about it is, Matilda says it was when I was waiting to see if you were going to be on YouTube Live. Oh, okay. Texas boy at heart. Yeah, I'm from Texas. But anyway, I used to have so much compassion for homeless people, and LA has ruined that. When I lived in downtown Long Beach, I literally had a little Hispanic lady that lived in, she would stay in my alley from time to time, like right by my apartment. And I used to cook her dinner. I would cook her dinner from time to time. Like, if I was cooking myself dinner, and like I made, sometimes there was a couple times I just made her enough portion to help her, or, to give her some dinner as well. Yeah, he sounds like he's mentally ill. He could be mentally ill, Ambo Life. I don't think he's mentally ill, though. I actually think he's intoxicated. I think he's intoxicated all the time. And when he's drinking and he gets too drunk, when he gets really super drunk, he starts singing. And he's not singing in English. He's singing in Spanish at the top of his lungs. And it's literally right behind my office. It drives me crazy. And I don't know how to handle it. Like, I'm not kidding you. I want to go just beat the brakes off of him. I've been dealing with it for a year. This hasn't been like a couple of weeks. This has been a year. I was actually so relieved when you guys were here, Ambo Life, because he didn't do it. I knew he was going to do it, and he didn't do it. I literally I've had like a couple of meetings here with clients, and they come into my office, and we're having a meeting, and he starts singing like in the middle of the afternoon. I'm not talking about 9 or 10 o'clock at night. I'm talking about 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, the wall. And I literally am at my wit's end. I don't know. I haven't gone and talked to him, or, I don't think he speaks English, but I mean, I'm at my wit's end that I don't know what to do. I mean, I'll scream out the window, shut the fuck up, and as loud as I can. And he'll shut up for a few minutes, and then he goes again. I mean, this is going to sound super terrible, but like, I'm at the point I want to just go get a gallon of gasoline and just go pour it on his tin and burn him out. But I don't. I literally hate the dude. I hate him. It sounds so horrible. I know it sounds so horrible, and I sound like such a horrible human saying it. But I'm just like, I'm pulling my hair out. I don't know what to do. The cops won't do anything. They see him out there. There's nothing they can do. To get rid of them, play spooky noises at night, like coyotes howling, little kids laughing, a creepy man shouting, "Where are you?" Little kids saying, "I see you," from hidden speaker. That's not a bad idea. The other thing I was thinking about, Joshua, is I have like a Bluetooth speaker, and what I might do, but then somebody called the cops on me. I know they call the cops on me, but what I was going to do is just like put it on a loop. Just put some, what is the name of that group? Jesus. I hate it when my mind goes blank. The Bodies Hit the Floor. Have you ever heard that song, The Bodies Hit the Floor? Let the Bodies Hit the Floor. And I can't type. Yeah, Drowning Pool. Let the Bodies Hit the Floor. Yeah, I just want to put some like just crazy acid rock on and just like leave it blaring at him just 24/7. Or every time he starts singing, just like blare him out with the bodies hit the floor. But yeah, I like your idea, Joshua. I just don't think I don't think spooky noises would scare him. I don't think it would work. It's so funny because I always hit the wrong freaking button. I try to hit the mute and I always hit the pause, and I'm like, is my video locked up? park a blacked out hearse where they can see it and play creepy funeral music. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. The problem is there's literally, I don't know how many homeless people there are over here. There's several, but they're all stealing shit. I can tell you that much, because one of them has a trailer parked down in a cul-de-sac, and there's every night I walk by there are more and more and more bicycles. So they're out in the neighborhoods just stealing stuff all the time. But other than that, they don't make any noise, or they're not too bad. But this guy right here, that's actually a lie, because where they have the trailer down there in the cul-de-sac, there's some houses down there, and they have barbecue, open fires out there. They'll build fires in the ground like they're camping and stuff. It's incredible. It's odd how attracted homeless people get. It's odd how attached homeless people get, so attached to an area, even when they're offered free places to stay. They don't. Yeah, exactly. The sad part about it is I used to have a lot of compassion for homeless people, but just dealing with them through the last, gosh, the homeless problem in LA has really exploded probably here in the last 5 years. I have no compassion for them anymore. None, like none. I've had so many dealings with them. I had a guy try to attack me one night when I was leaving work after like a 15-hour day. I was literally walking down Pico Boulevard from the Fox lot in Century City. 3:00 in the morning. We'd just wrapped. I was exhausted. I'd probably walked 15 miles that day. And it was when I very first got my iPhone 6S Plus. So it's probably 2014, 2015. And I'm just walking down the sidewalk, just looking at my phone, minding my own business. It's like it is right now with quarantine. It was deserted because it was 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. There was nobody out. The bars, everything was closed. So I didn't even know anybody was out there. I'm usually very aware of my surroundings, but Century City is such a safe part of LA that I just didn't really think that there was any danger anywhere. So I'm walking along on my phone, looking at Facebook or scrolling through Facebook or whatever, because I used to park my RV, Bertha. I used to park my RV a mile and a half from the Fox studio in a little commercial district, and then I would walk to work and leave my RV parked there. So every night when I would get off, I'd have to walk a mile and a half from the Fox studios up to the 405 and Pico Boulevard, if anybody's familiar with LA. So I'm literally walking along, looking at my phone, and out of the corner of my eye, I'm coming up to a red light, like a corner. It's at an intersection. And so I stopped to look before I crossed the street, and I look this way. And as I'm coming back this way, all I see is a foot. I see a foot coming right at my head. And so I just kind of ducked, and the foot grazed me and hit me here and knocked my brand new phone. My iPhone was brand new at the time. This phone, it was literally brand new at the time. And the foot knocks my phone out of my hand down on the concrete. And the guy who tried to kick me, he tried to knock me out. He probably wanted to steal my phone. So he was trying to kick me in the side of the head. But luckily, I've done mixed martial arts for years. So it was just instinct for me to move a little bit. And I moved just enough for him to miss. And when he missed, his foot came down and hit my phone, knocked my phone out of my hand. But because he thought he was going to kick me in the head, his momentum sent him flying past me. So he lost his balance and was stumbling past me when he missed. And as he went by me, I just reached out and grabbed him. It was actually with this arm. I don't remember how I did that, but he went stumbling by me, and I grabbed him and put him in a rear naked choke, RRN, RNC, rear naked choke, put him in an RNC, and wrapped him up, got my hand behind his head, and just squeezed him to 90-90. And as I got on him, he fell face first on the cement. Like his arms or nothing even caught him. So he had all of my weight and all of his weight. And the first thing to hit the concrete sidewalk was his face. And I think it knocked all his front teeth out. I wasn't completely sure. But I squeezed him to 90-90. I stood up and I kicked him in the side of the head as hard as I could, about 3 or 4 times. I picked my phone up and I continued walking on down the road, and I went on back to my rig. Don't know what happened to him. Don't care. Yeah. So that's the kind of stuff you deal with in LA. And did I call the cops? No, didn't call the cops. The cops weren't going to do anything. They never do. And they'll half the time, if you do call the cops, they'll unless they pulled a knife on you or unless they actually really assaulted you with like a weapon or something, half the time the cops won't even do anything. They'll take the vagrant side because the cops can't. I mean, even if the cops arrest them, they'll be out like the next day because the cops don't want them in their cars. The cops don't want them in jail. See, Matilda says it's odd how attached homeless people. Let's see, I read that. Supposedly, LA County is trying to round them up and place them in hotels for free to help stopping from getting and spreading the virus. Joshua says legally, I don't know about this, but spray a couple of canisters of pepper spray from a hidden location. Regarding the attack, carry machete from Home Depot with you while walking past that area. Yeah, that was a long time ago. It was like 4 or 5 years ago. And I never had a problem after that. And I never saw that guy again after that night. I never saw him out there, and I looked for him, but it did teach me not to let my guard down because I've always had my guard up when I'm walking around LA, even during the day. But for some reason, because that's seems like such a safe area over there, I just kind of let my guard down, and I was so tired that day that I just didn't realize anybody was around me. And it almost cost me dearly because it's a dog eat dog world out there. And if he would have kicked me, he probably would have knocked me out because he kicked at me as hard as he could. And he was a jacked homeless black dude with like fatigues on or like a green military pants. And he had like boots, like some kind of boots on. But he was a homeless dude. He smelled the high heaven and he was carrying a backpack with all of his shit in it. And I actually took his backpack and chunked it. So I hope he couldn't find it when he woke up. The funny thing is when he woke up, he'll have no idea. He'll have no recollection probably when he woke up, he probably had very little recollection of what happened to him. And I know I sound like a horrible person saying that, but man, I've had so many things like that happen that it's ridiculous. And when my attitude towards the homeless population here in LA started to change was when I used to live in Long Beach, there was a 7-Eleven over off 7th Street. If anybody's familiar with California here in LA or Long Beach, there was a 7-Eleven on 7th Street, and they used to have a ton of homeless people hanging out in front of that 7-Eleven. And this is back before the homeless population had exploded in LA. This is 6 years ago. And basically over in Long Beach, that's the only place that you would really come in contact with homeless people was out in front of this one